Welcome to this new how-to. In this how-to, we're going to discuss how you can take off with the Discus 2C glider, which is, I would say, a way different of taking off compared to a normal engine-powered aircraft, because we need to take off with a winch, and the winch is simply a cable which is attached to the aircraft and then starts pulling the aircraft and make sure that it's going airborne. There are a few things you need to keep in mind. First of all, there's the distance, and this is the distance of the cable, right? You need to be, I would say, very careful with this, because if you're not disconnecting, I would say, fast enough, then you're screwed, and then it will, I would say, pull the aircraft almost downwards. There's a safety system in it, so it will disconnect eventually, but it's not, I would say, the most funny experience you will have. So let's set it to 2,000 meters, because this runway is approximately 2,000 meters. So we are at least, say, pull to the end of the runway, and then we will disconnect the cable. Then we've got the speed, and this is the speed the cable pulls on the aircraft. Currently, you can see that the speed is 3 miles per hour or kilometers per hour. The altitude is 5. So let me hit B to reset the altimeter. The RA is 0. Then we've got the pitch, which is a pitch rate, and we've got the trim, because we can also trim, and you can do that either manually or by using this nice green button, which will show you what happened, right? If you're pulling it forward, the ballast will be, I would say, transferred to the front of the aircraft, which will push the nose down. If you move it, I would say, towards you, it will push the ballast in the back of the aircraft, which will, let's say, put the nose in the air. There's always room to release the ballast, and that's also what we're going to do in the air once we're airborne, to show you how it works and what you can see. And that will start releasing the ballast, so it will start releasing, in this case, the fluid which we have on board. So once we hit launch, this will change to kind of, I would say, almost a sniper shot, right? So you need to stay in the middle of it, or at least in the green part, because else the winch will disconnect very fast. So let's change to 110, and then let's hit this nice button. And there are a few things which you need to take into account. As mentioned, you need to stay as close as possible in this green part of the arrow. But another thing is that you also need to be aware that this is the winch and this is your aircraft. So you need to make sure that you're releasing the winch once you're airborne, and you, I would say, bypass the length, because if you don't do it, it will pull the aircraft downwards. Eventually it will release it, right? So I will show you that in another demo. So what you will see now is the speed is changing, the pitch rate is changing, and the RA is also changing to 1 to 8. So IS is now 89, the altitude is 130, the RA is roughly 120, and the pitch is 5.6. It doesn't show positive or negative climb. And if I now would change the trim, you can see that the trim is now changed to 48%. I did it with my joystick, but if we would look down now, you can see that it also has changed the button here. So once we're airborne, that's cool, right? So we're gonna stay here for a while. We're gonna make a turn. Because I want to show you another feature of this nice aircraft, and that's how to get rid of ballast, right? In some case you might want to dump the ballast. Well, what you need to do in that case is you can use this button to open the ballast, and if I now would go outside the aircraft, it might be hard to see, is that there is, I would say, kind of a spray. Yeah, you can see it here. Spray is being released. That's the fluid which is being released, and if we would now close it, you won't see it anymore. So let me also show the difference. So close it. You can see now the, I would say, fluid behind the aircraft is gone. So that's how you can release the ballast. So this is how you can get airborne with this aircraft. It's not the most easiest thing. It requires practicing, and I will show you why. So I'm gonna press escape now, and then say home and restart, because I want to show you what happens if you don't release the cable, let's say, soon enough. So we're gonna press ready to fly. We're gonna make sure that the cable is connected. We say we're gonna go for 1000 meters, 130 kilometers per hour. And then we're gonna press launch, which means that in this case, the cable is only half of the runway length. Well, let's see what happens if we don't press release. You can see that the aircraft already starts going to the bottom, right? Which means it almost goes outside of that, I would say, green circle. If we're unlucky, in this case I think we're lucky, in this case we were lucky, right? It automatically disconnected the cable. But if we're unlucky, it will pull the aircraft down. So let me try to show it again. So let me hit reset. So as mentioned, there's always a safety option, which is good. So I can say connect 2000, in this case 150, so we're gonna go really fast. Because now I'm not gonna make any huge changes. The other thing I'm gonna do is pull the aircraft really up into the air. You can see that now goes into the red zone, and the red zone is simply bad news. Because if you're going into the red zone, it means that you're very close to disconnecting the cable, and if you're unlucky and do not have enough speed, you will see that it will start acting weird. In this case I also can't reboot it. I'm not sure. When practicing I had it several times that I will say was pulled almost downwards again because the auto deviation system didn't decrease the cable. So it looks like that the auto deviation system now saved my life. So keep in mind that you release the cable in time. If you don't do it in time, there's a chance that you can get screwed unless you stay in the center of that angle, which we had I would say initial departure, which we did, because then the auto release system will automatically disconnect the cable, and then you can go airborne and enjoy the nice scenery with this nice glider. Here ends this how-to. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you've got questions or comments, then feel free to post them in the comment box below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.